Welcome, welcome, welcome. Testing, sound testing, testing, testing. How you doing? I'm Raymond Negron with Beyond Failure to Reach Success, and I am a guide from the side. And I'm here. I want to, I put this live up yesterday, and I wanted to see if people were interested or invested in having some free coaching. So if anyone shows up, I would love you to post a question in the box, right? Because we're going through here. I'm going to write that in the box right now. Questions for coaching, right? So if you're looking to be coached or you're looking, my question to people is, what do you want, right? With everything that's happening in the world, with, the media, and what we are experiencing through fear. Maybe a lot of people are out of work concurrently in your home and you don't know what's going on. But you know what? You need to make a lateral shift, right? You're not working concurrently, right? And maybe, just maybe, you thought of working for yourself. You want to say, you know what? I want to transition from 9 to 5 to working for myself full time, right? I make my own decisions. All right. What questions would you have around that? Right. Because I work for myself. Excuse me. And it's difficult, but it's rewarding. Right. I love what I do. Right. That's why I'm coming here on YouTube Live and seeing if there's anyone that needs help, has any questions, or what they're thinking. And maybe they could hear themselves out loud by us going back and forth. By asking a question, right? What do you want that you'd want to spend time, energy, money, right? Focused. Like, what do you want to say no to so you can focus and create something? Create a life for your dreams, because a lot of jobs just give you a ceiling. They just give you this and you get nothing. And most people I notice, I've had conversations with people around my area. They didn't save enough money. They didn't put money away for this. Right? Because I believe in life, sometimes you just have to, you control your own pandemic by fortressing yourself, right? By building the foundations of what it is that you want to create in life, right? And this is a reminder. I feel like this is a gentle reminder of people like saying, you know what, I'm not healthy enough, right? I could catch this, right? There's fear in that. There's paranoia. And there's a focus on the fear because it's real for you. It's real for the people that, maybe smoke cigarettes. They drink, they smoke, they do things they stay up way too late. They only get 3-4 hours sleep, right? And it's like a headbutt, right? I cut myself there shaving, look at that. But think about that for you. What would you like your life to be like, right? Wouldn't you like to have more control? Wouldn't you like to be like, you know what, it's okay. Yeah, and it's always hard in the beginning, right? But once you build up where you're at, and you have like a good amount of savings, you could say, you know what, I have a year and a half worth of savings. I want to build this business that I love, that I know, that I love, that I trust, that I believe in, that I want, that I desire from the heart, right? To serve others, to serve yourself, to serve your family, to serve the higher good, right? But fear keeps you in place, right? Get the steady paycheck. I get the steady paycheck. I get it. I get the steady paycheck. Safe here. You don't understand. You're in your comfort zone, right? The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to get older, senescence, physiological age. You're going to get more scared. You're going to get more dependent. You're just going to stay small. But when you grow, when you grow with confidence and intense trust and working with people that can help you get you where you want to go, little bit by little bit, or maybe you want to go quicker. Maybe you're there you're like, you know what, I want to take a big jump. Fuck this. And you move towards what you want instead of away from what you want. So most people move far away from what they want. And one day you're going to die. The truth is, one day you will die. One day you will be dead. One day you will not be here. And it's going to be like present time, like right now, but you're moving into your next stage of life, to death. Ask yourself a question. Did I live the life that I really wanted to live? Did I live the life that I really wanted to live? If I were to die right now, I would say yes, because I'm in service. I'm happy. Still have to do hard work. I still have to have determination and perseverance in my business. Still got to collect no's. Still got to upserve the people of where I am right now. Really be of service and help them around their fears and tweaks and coordinate and figure out what it is that they want, what they desire, right? So, person watching this, what do you want? What do you want in this great life? What would it be for you? What would it feel like? What would it smell like? What would you hear? What sounds would be around? Where would you be living, right? It's also powerful to make a vision, because I have this thing called a vision quest, where you're making a vision. When you make a vision, kind of have a path. You follow this path. And you make a decision from everything else around you that's distracting you, that's keeping you where you're at, that's keeping you safe, it's keeping you secure, it's keeping you from growth, from development, from bumping your head up against the wall, possibly bleeding a little bit, and getting what you want. Because there is heaven on earth. There is a crusade, right? I don't know what anyone's religious connotation are. My personal beliefs are every religion has a story. Every religion has a story to tell, and every story is helpful. Every story that all religions have in common is a story for common man to become better, to make improvements, right? And hopefully this brings people together instead of apart. You know, not to speak too much about religion, but everybody's religion thinks this is it. But every religion in common has a story. Every story wants you to become a better version of yourself through growth, through development, through facing your fears, right? When we face our fears, and I have a core value called fearing less, we become curious to what it is that we want, what it is that we're surrounding ourselves by becoming. I'm going to have to leave this and get water in a little bit. I did forget water, essential element. But if you had to answer that question, right? I'm going to be here till 10:30. Whoever shows up, awesome. No one shows up, no one shows up, I don't mind. But I know the message is here. I know the message is here. And some things, the mess, right, is in the message, right? And that's very vital, right? Your mess of whatever is happening to you right now is in the message, right? So what did you learn? What do you want in this great life that you can spend time, energy, money, focus, right? And say no to things so you can create what you want now. I believe this is the time, right? This thing that's happening around us is giving you some thinking time, right? Not thoughting time, but thinking time. How can I have the power to think what I want instead of being distracted, right? Shutting the door and plugging into your thoughts and asking yourself with a pen and a pad of paper, what do I want to create? What do I want? I want to spend time. If you have the time now and you're jobless or your work is closed, what can you focus on creating for yourself without fears, without emotions, with logic, right? What do you want to create this one great life with time, energy, focus, right? Bandwidth, saying no to things around you, and money and attention, right? What would that be for you? Write in the comments, guys, if you're here. I got to shut off my phone. My phone is blowing up. I don't know why it is, but it is. But anyway, think about that, right? That's a great question. It's a great question, and it's a foundational coaching question that every coach will ask you. From coaches that are, I would say, I'm low to medium priced to high investment. What do you want? How do you want to get from here to here and build that bridge to your life? What would it be for you? What would it look like? What would you see? What would you smell? What would you taste? What would you hear? What would you touch? What would that life look like? And see that and feel good about it, right? When you get emotional, you get motion. When you get emotional, you get motion, right? And I used to work in the fitness industry. And the people that would make change would be the people that would say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being heavy. I'm so sick of it. I have diabetes. I could barely move down the stairs. I could barely walk up the street. This is when I was living in Brooklyn, right? I used to live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn for many years. And I lived in Park, so I lived a little bit all over, but I lived mainly in Greenpoint for a long time. And when people would get emotional about their life, it would create motion, right? That's why I always say, and I learned from my mentor, Ed Milet, to attach motion to your emotion and see it and feel good about it, right? When you feel good about something, you want to do it, right? It's like sex, right? You have sex, you feel good. It's a release. Right? We say that word, right? What if you could do that with your life? You kind of have sex with your life. You could know that the goal to get there, I'm just making this up on the spot, is the orgasm, right? When you get there, that's the orgasm, to create that life, right? Now, I'm not sure, and it's about incremental steps. It's not about just getting there, because as human beings, we have this thing called cognitive bias, where we're like, you know what, I can't even imagine that. That's so far off in the distance. I can't even imagine creating that. But if you looked at your life, not as a distant shore, but a guiding star, and know that you're here from here to the end, that it's a journey. It's a vision quest. It's a quest for your vision of the way you want your life to be. You'll make a decision concurrently to cut the things out that don't serve you. You'll make a decision to surround yourself with better people like me listening. The people that are here now are listening to saying, you know what, I want to create a great life. This thing around me, right? It's good to be happy, but also know this, happiness is fleeting, or fulfillment is a legacy, right? We could all create happiness. I know people who are walking around now in a false happiness. Yeah, I'm happy. Life is good, right? And sometimes we create that mirage to ignore the dreams that were, that we were hopeful in the beginning. Remember when you were a kid? Talk to kids. Kids are the closest thing to whatever you believe in, to energy, source, right? You would agree that it takes energy to make us dance and move around, would you? When you speak to a kid, when you speak to a child, when you speak to how curious they are, what do kids do? Kids will walk up to something, they'll look at the insect and be like, oh my God, this is an amazing insect. Look at it, it's colorful, it's this. And they have that godliness of being, that excitement, that curious. And we lose that as we adult. I always say as we molt, right? I got my grays to second that, but as we adults, as we molt, we get formed by our environment. We listen to other people. Whether that information is good or bad, we listen to them anyway. Whether or not it's good information, it gets stuck in our mind. It hostage negotiates who we are, right? As we have a triumvirate brain, right? It hostage negotiates us into just living a mediocre average life. And let me tell you, if you're religious in any way, or just believe that you're here for something better, Know that you're in the right place. Know that. Know that. Know that. Know that for you. Know that you're here right now because you want something better. You're listening because you know what? All this fear and pandemic around me only narrows me on the fear. But when I'm in a calm, serene state of being, I can think clearly. I can think clearly. And I have a word called confidence, right? It's having calm, right? When you're calm, what happens? You're open. You're open to exploring things. When you're confident, you have an intense trust in yourself, an intense trust of knowing that you are more capable than you believe you are, right? Just know that you are. Know that the most successful people in the world do things dumb. They do things without knowing, and then they figure them out. They do it's called experiential learning, where you don't just learn, and then think you know. You learn, and then you apply it. You learn, and then you apply it against reality and see what works for you. Then see what doesn't work for you. And then see what works for you. And then see what doesn't work for you. Get rid of what doesn't work for you, and then move forward with what works for you. Because that's what life does. Life gives us that intention, right? And focus. And when we make a vision on moving forward and knowing that sometimes you got to take 10 steps backwards to move 5 steps forward. Then sometimes you got to move 50 steps backwards to move 30 steps forward. That's life. That's just a part of it. You just have to love what is and just be grateful for the gift and say, okay, what did I learn from this? For instance, people don't realize when, like, I've spent money on mentors that I believe were not a good fit for me. And then, but the thing is it eventually led me to the mentor that was. And the experience was I invested money into finding the person that I needed to find through all these experiences that led me to this. Right? So think about that for you. And we're in an age where it's like, who do I know? Who do I need to know to move my life forward? Because whatever niche you're looking to create, right? Maybe it's a little different, but there's a niche that you're into that you want to work for yourself in. Involvement, you're involving yourself and evolving yourself in an endlessly evolving process that you want to incrementally get knowledge, know-how, knowingness, right? And I tell you, you already know enough. You know more than what you think you know. If you would just starve the fear, starve the doubt, just say, you know what, I know. And know that you have to kind of stumble through things to figure them out. Stumbling blocks turn into stepping stones at all times, right? If you've ever worked out, if you've ever played a sport, you've been horrible at it, right? I used to be awful at table tennis. Awful. I couldn't even hit the ball. I remember throwing the stick across the room. Pool. I used to be awful at pool. Hit the ball. I remember one time, literally, I like scratched the green and ripped up the thing, and I left because I was embarrassed, right? But I came back and I learned, and I was like, I said, you know what? I'm just put one ball on that table, and I'm going to aim it towards that hole. I'm going to do it. I'm going to gain confidence by doing something really tiny. And I hit the ball and went a hole. I was like, awesome. Yeah. And then I got the confidence to do that. So then I set it a little further back. I hit it again. I got it again. Then I set a little further back. I hit it. It had actually hit where the hole is. It hit the corner and bounced off. So then I just moved it a little closer. All right. Then I did again. And it hit the corner and then bounced up. Then I moved a little, and then I got it in. Then I started again. And then I got further back until I could aim a hole. Then eventually I started to be able to go to different pockets. And it took me time. And I regressed to progress. That's life. That's all of life. Regressing to progress, right? Think about that. Think about that for you. If everything in life is just a learning experience, you're earning the learn on your experience. It's just a part of it. And you accept that as a gift, right? Create the knowledge. Who do I know that's really good at this thing that I want to become? Who could I go speak to today? Who could I take out to lunch, dinner, or just go to their place and say, hey, I want to work. Can you hire me? Can I intern? And learn it from the grassroots up. See if it's even a thing. You know what's funny? A lot of people go to college for something that they think they want. Then they go out in the field, they realize how much they hate it. Go out and get the experience first before you invest all that money. If you're a surgeon, you need to do something specialized, right? You're going to have to go to school for that. But now the skills, where can you practice the skills, especially now if you're home, right? You're not working. You're collecting unemployment. You're waiting right now to collect your unemployment. But what can you do to dive in right now and get the skills to move forward, right? I always say the skills that kill if you're a hunter, right? You got to get skills. Or if you hunt vegetables, right? Hunt vegetables. Knowledge, skills, and capabilities, right? Capabilities are learned from an ability that you learn and then you apply to life. Knowledge, skills, and abilities, right? And capabilities. Dude, whoever's watching right now, type in the question, what do you want out of your life? Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. One person that's here. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. There's a comment box, man. Let's drive it home. Let's drive it home. Like, what do you want if you could have anything in this one great life? What would you want to create? What would you want to do to create value and accrete the value, right? Accrete it. Getting what you want. It's kind of like Ray Dalio's principles, right? This is everything that he's done. Ooh, backwards, forwards, right? What would it be for you? What do you want? 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 Right? What do you want out of this one great life? Right? What do you want? What do you want in this great life that we have? What do you want? That you can focus time. All right? Tick, 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 tick. It's going away. Energy. Focus. Right? Bandwidth. Like a laser, like a lighthouse. A lighthouse doesn't go like this, it goes like this. And what can you say no to serve yourself, right? To course correct your life, to tweak it just a little bit. Do you already have what you want? So I know most people don't. Most people think they do. I have the life. I got it. But what do you want? Right? You know, I'm doing this so I could help people. Right? It'd be great if people would just write in the chat. Right? I'm not a hot model. I think I'm hot. But I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. I'm here to just be a mouth. I'm here to serve you guys. So I want to say, I'm going to put it in the chat. What do you want that you would spend time, energy, focus, money, and say no to so you can say yes to, I guess. Right? And answer that, because I'm offering this for free. Right? And I have a full coaching regime. I have at least 20, 30 clients that I coach with full time. And I'm coming here to help people that are, you know, jobless right now or waiting for something to happen when they could create it themselves and transition from 9 to 5 into working for yourself. What would that be like? What would that be like? So I know the economy is being, a lot of small businesses, right, that rely on brick and mortars are hurt right now. They're in pain, right? But if you had to refocus, re-coordinate, retweak, course correct your life, right? This is an opportunity to do it, right? And what would that achievement look like, right? Amazing. What would you see? What would you smell? What would you taste? What would you hear? What would you visualize? Because we don't. We have a triumvirate brain, right? Where we have like a neo-mammalian brain, which is like the emotional, the connection. We have a neo-reptilian brain, which is awareness. I'm pretty vigilant. I'm always watching. What's going on? What's that over there? Right? We have that brain. And we have a neocortex, which is a future orient. It's like the bigger part of the brain on the top of the head, right? And they're all built into each other. And that neocortex brain is the future oriented brain. It's the part of the brain that we don't use that much. But when we do use it, when you speak to successful people, I've spoken to Andy Frisella, I've spoken to Ed Milet in person. And the one thing that these guys say is that they visualize what they want. And it doesn't happen overnight. They sit and think, and they do it in the AM and they do it in the PM before they go to bed. So the subconscious mind can see what they want because we think in pictures. We create in pictures, right? This chair I'm sitting on was created because some guy thought about it. Said, hey, probably, I don't even know, it's probably a cheap chair. Actually, it's not too bad. But he thought about, I want to make 100 of these chairs. And they drew out a model from the brain and they created it. You can do that with your life. You could do that with your life. Know that you could do that with your life. Just know it, right? I knew one day I'd be sitting up here with a collared shirt speaking to people. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, but I saw it. And I had to build the confidence to do these, right? I'm speaking for an hour today, right? And a lot of the stuff I know is good because I've worked on it. I put the experience out there, and I want the same for you. I want you guys to want the same thing. I want you guys to want to have this great life that's in front of you and make the most. Use this blip in the radar as an opportunity to focus on what you want. It's nothing but a blip, as JC says, and I'm talking about not Jay-Z, but JC. Jesus Christ says, this too shall pass. Like most things, they pass. But what's the opportunity that you could see from this? What is the opportunity that you could create? That might be a little bit uncomfortable to create it at first, because most opportunities are uncomfortable. It's that like, oh my God, I've never done this before. I'm going to move into that direction. And you're like, well, what are people going to think? What are the fears? What are the judgments? What are the criticisms? Right? Know that you're the power. Know that you have the power to not give a shit. To just say, you know what? I want to try this. This is my life. Right? Going back to what I spoke to earlier about being a kid. What do kids do? They don't care. They go out and they do things. Kids go out and they try things. And then they get either chastised or they're like, yeah. And that's what I'm doing for you. I'm going, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Let's fucking go. You know? I remember as a kid, I don't even want to tell this story, but I remember as a kid, I literally took poop, feces, and painted the wall. I don't know. I thought I was an artist, I guess. And my mother, she didn't yell at me, but she made me clean it. You know, my dad would have freaked out. My dad would have blew his cork. Blew his cork. You didn't see it, I don't think. I think you heard about it later, and he was angry anyway. But right? People in life need encouragement. People in life need inspiration, not motivation. Right? When we motivate our motives, right? Money, sex, power, those things will drive you far. They'll get you to where you want, right? But when you're inspired to help, like I'm inspired to help, like I'm inspired to do these more, I believe this time and era around us with all this fear and pandemic, it actually angers me. It upsets me that what happened is as creatures, as human beings, when we don't know something, we react because we don't really have the knowledge. We don't have the capabilities and skills. So we react in a fear mindset and we run around and our stress levels just go loose. But when you learn to respond to things, you say, you know what, we're going to get through this. Or if not, you're going to die, one or the other. Think about that, whatever. You're not given, you have to pay the rent every day, right? It's a gift when you wake up. If people would just realize when they wake up, holy shit, I'm alive again. Look at it. If you would just get out of bed and say, you know what, wow, here it is. Another day that I get to shine, that I get to work on what I want. Not just do the same thing you've always been doing, right? That's an old story. What can I do in my power today to empower, to inspire, to encourage myself to do just a little more? Right? As human beings, we're selfish. I believe you have to be selfish to be selfless. I had to learn everything from my years of coaching to become selfless, to know that this stuff works, to be a little gritty about it, right? One of my core values is integrity, and it's spelled Integritty, because I got to force myself to do what I said I would do. Sometimes it's hard. It's not meant to be easy, but I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this. But then I look at it, you know what? It must be done. It's not I got to do this. I get to do this. I got to do this. No, I get to do this. I get to do this. It's a gift. I get to do this. Think about that. I get to do this. I get this body to move around in. I get this short, squat, strong body to move around in. I get to laugh. I get to enjoy my laughter. It's a gift. I get to do this. What do you get to do? What do you want to get to do? What do you believe you get to do? And do it. And do it. Always do the harder things. And I'm not saying hard is pain, because suffering is only in the mind and thinking makes it so. Because when you think you're suffering, then you're suffering, right? If I let everybody else's fears around me dictate who I am, then I'm not in control. They're in control. You must be in control of who you are and yourself, while being a part and connected to everything around you, right? All the energy around you, connect with it. Even now, I'm still smiling. I notice people are kinder in some ways, right? Not a lot of honking right now. And I'm a honker. I'll honk if I feel like you're in my way. Come on, let's go. And I'll do that. I'll be like, come on, let's go. And so I have a type A personality with a type B style. But the thing is, it's like, you know, where can you be a little kinder? Where can you open the door for somebody? Where can you just do the things that you want to be done for you? Isn't it nice when someone opens a door for you? When they mean it. Not that they just do it without being intentional, right? When someone says, yeah, have a nice day, they can't even meet you in the eye. Yeah, but yeah, it'd be good. It's on habit. I don't even respond. Me personally, I just don't say anything because it's not done with intention. When someone looks me in the eye and says, hey, have a nice day, and they mean it, you feel it, don't you? Don't you feel that? Do you feel my energy when I'm communicating to you? With power, with not giving a crap of what people think about me, but also trying to give back what's in my heart. So I know I have a good heart. I know I'm here to communicate and help and assist as a gift to this life and to the strife that people are thinking they're going through. But when you think fear, you manifest it, all right? All right, if you didn't know, if tomorrow was your last day on this planet, how would you live today? How would you live today? Today, this is it. When you go to bed, I'm waking up tomorrow. That's it. Toodaloo. How would you live today? I'm not talking about the fear live, where it's like, oh my God, I'd empty my bank account. I'd get 10 prostitutes or whatever you would do. I have no idea, right? But what would you do? What would you do? How would you act? How would you show up? How would you be present? Right? Sometimes I get very focused. I don't respond to people because I'm focused. I'm always focused on helping the higher good. Where can you be focused today? Right? With intention, strength of self. Maybe you're not used to being good. Maybe you're not used to saying hello. Maybe you're not used to connecting because some people just don't give it back. That's okay. When you come from a place of power, like when I give money to the homeless person, I don't care what he does. I mean, I do. I want him to feed himself. I want himself to, get a bottle of water or get a bottle of something good, not alcohol. But I give with that intention of like, you know what, I'm giving with the gift. And I'm not telling him what to do. That's free will and choice. But I give with the gift, Well, I also observe and watch. Maybe I'll ask. I remember when I was in Scotland backpacking, I asked the guy, I said, what are you going to do with this 20 bucks? I forgot, it's 20 sterling or 20 pounds, whatever the hell it was. And he's like, I'm going to get food. I said, you know what? How about I go and I get us food? I went to a fish and chips place in Scotland. I forgot, it was in between the Royal Mile and the other part. There's like a dip that connects Scotland. And I went to a fish and chip store and I came back and I got this guy, and him just sat there. And my girlfriend at the time, Erin, was somewhere else. I don't know where she was. But I remember sitting there with fish and chips, hot, steamy fish and chips. And I gave it to this guy. And I literally sat next to him. I was pretty stocky. I wasn't worried about this. I just didn't feel threatened by the guy. Who knows? But, someone could bug out at any time. But I went there with a confidence. I shared. And I said, man, dude, could you tell me your story? What happened? What happened to you? I was a little more glee because I was young and, in my 20s. Told me his story. While we're sitting there eating. I think I had vinegar. I made it like it was like a date with destiny or something. I don't know. I just wanted to give the gift of this guy food, and I wanted to have food. I wanted to have a good meal with some stranger. And I was young and I was rambunctious, and I still am in many ways. But we sat there, and this guy told me that the reason why he's homeless is he was living in a flat. I think they call it a flat in Scotland. I don't know. He pointed. I just had to go over there, in the direction. And I'm smiling because I connected with this man. I connected with his story. I connected with who he was. Whether it was bullshit or not, I didn't feel bullshit. And, I might have let one go over my head, but yeah, I felt sincerity, right? I felt this guy's story was sincere. He told me a story that his house burned to the ground and he was at work. And his wife and child got burned to death in this house. So he was going through some trauma, right? Post-traumatic stress syndrome, whatever it's called. But he was going through a traumatic event. He says, I've been homeless for about a year. I've been devastated, and I just live on the streets here. He said, some people are good to me, some aren't, but he's like, I'm just trying to figure it out, man. And he told me the whole story and how he missed his wife, he missed his kid, and how he's there. And I think he gets a little money, goes to a church, that takes care of him. But I got to share that experience with him. And it connected me emotionally to this man, right? And we got to share. He ate all his fish and chips up. I had some left over. I'm like, dude, feel free, And I connected to that guy. And I connected to his story. And I gave him another 10 sterling or pounds. I don't know what the hell it was. But I gave him more money. I said, listen, have a good day. Thank you for connecting with me. And I told him my story. I just said, I'm here, my girlfriend. I decided I wanted to backpack the world. And I did. I did for 6 months. Not the whole entire world, but a part of it. And that, I'm here to get an experience. And, I just kind of want to. And he kind of told me where to go. And he told me to go to this comedy club and this thing up there. It's like a little tour guide, right? So there was gifts being exchanged all over, right? I got the gift of connection, right? Connecting with a stranger, listening to his story and hearing him for who he was. what he stands for, right? And right now he just stood for trauma, right? And I just said, listen, man, I hope one day you pick yourself up and get yourself back on your feet. Because you know what? I know it's hard what you're going through. I mean, we had moments, we connected, some emotionality. I think he cried a little bit, and I wasn't a crying type at the time. I think I'm more of a crying type now, but I connected with the guy, and it made me feel good. And that's what being good's about. Sometimes holding the door for people, just doing goodwill. But you know what? Answer that question for yourself, guys. I got 15 minutes left, going to 10:30, then I'm done for the day. But I hope you guys see the value, right? I hope you guys see, like, what do you want that you would spend time, energy, focus, money, and say no to so you can say yes to, right? Think about that question. Maybe you'll sleep with that question, right? What do I want? Excuse me, keep it basic. What do I want? Yeah, I'm getting thirsty now. Nose is itchy. Want some water? I'm going to try to tough it through. And you're like, what do you want that you would spend time, energy, time, right? Focus, energy, right? Eating, moving, sleeping, energy. You need energy. You need energy to do anything. If you don't have energy, if you're always tired, think about that. Try not to tell people you're tired. I think that's another mistake people make. They say, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, oh, that's great. So go to sleep. When people say that, I don't know, does that frustrate you? No, it frustrates me. I'm just like, go to bed. What do you want? Some days you're just going to wake up tired. That's a part of life. You're going to wake up tired. But if what you want is deeper than you're tired, sometimes you suffer through it so you can get it. Right? The word passion, right, I think is from a word pasco, which means to suffer, to suffer. And you suffer for what you love. You suffer for what you want in life, right? Focus, precision, decision, vision. Where am I going? How am I going to get there? What am I going to do to get there? What am I going to do? Not how, but what. What empowers you? How doesn't? What? And money. Well, what are my thoughts about money? Right? Did I not have any when I was a kid? So I don't believe money is valuable. I don't believe trading money for something that can help me get ahead is valuable. Because most people don't. Most people will never invest in themselves to get ahead in life. And if you don't spend money, they always have that famous adage. You gotta, spend money to make money. And you got to invest in yourself for grow. Why do people go to college, right? They invest all that money and time on all this education. Most of it is never going to serve you. And half the people that teach you are never successful at it. But when you focus, right, on getting exactly what you want, and you spend the money, you learn, right? You're spending money so you can educate the brain. This is the biggest asset that you have, is your brain. The abundance in your brain. This is one of the biggest assets and liabilities. It'll lie to you. That's up to you to control that. A liability, right? But it's and it's the biggest ass too, right? But it can be an asset. It can help you set forward. It can help you set forward into motion when you're focused on it, when you invest in it, into the tools, into the resources that are going to move you. This, the way it's used, also the way it's abused, it's going to serve you either way. So why not use it to its best ability? Why not give it more time? Why not give it more energy? Why not give it more focus on what you want? Say no to things. Say no. Say no to things. Italian, no to things. Say no to things that don't serve you, and say yes to things that do serve you. And create. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. I will say it again, and I will say it again, and I will say it again. Stop making excuses. Because excusitis is one of the, it's a crippler. When we make excuses, when we're above something, I'm never above anything, man. If I have to do something, whether it's whatever beneath, I'll do it because I believe it will serve me eventually and will serve others. But stop using excusitis as an excuse to not live a great life. Figure out what those are. Why am I letting that be okay? Why is that a story? Why am I telling myself that over and over again? What am I really afraid of? What am I really afraid of? That's a great question. All right, I'll write that down. What am I really afraid of? What can I do about it? What can I do about my fears that are surrounding this? Maybe you just need to do something incrementally, little bit by little bit. It doesn't have to be big. Unless you don't mind going big, some people don't, right? I work with clients who are like, dude, let's do it. And I have other clients that say, whoa, wait. I want to dip my toe in the water. Cool. It's up to you on how long you want to take, right? But as a coach, what do? We collapse time to get you where you are to where you want to go. That's what we do. We ask powerful questions. It's up to you whether you want to answer them with directness, with power, with coming with strong intention to get you where you want. It could take this long. Can't even see it, right? My hand's Inspector Gadgeting all the way across the room. Or you could say, you know what? Whew, I want to take a year to do this. I want to take a year to write this great book. That would be a book coach. I'm not a book coach. Could be because I'm writing a book and I'm working with a coach to write a book. But how many pages do I need to write a day? I want this book to be 455 pages. How many pages a day is that? Do the math on that. No matter what, you wake up and you do those amount of pages, if that's what you want to do. Or take the goal, make it a little longer, right? Maybe you only want to do 2 pages a day. Even if you don't feel like it, you do it. Your identity is of a writer, right? Whenever you're looking to be something that you are currently not in your mind, you or I look for an exemplar in that space to exemplify what the highest version of that person could be. For book writing, Stephen King. He has a book on writing, which is okay. It's decent. But he speaks about, there's another good book. Oh my goodness. I read it years ago. This author gave it to me. I forgot his name. I remember the book. It was really good though. And you figure out 3 pages a day, every day. And you identify yourself as a writer. You take the actions of a writer, sitting down at 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 5:30. Then the feelings catch up. Whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. You got it done. You did what you said you would do. That's integrity. You did what you said you would do, right? That's integrity. When you do that, take the actions of it no matter what. You become a professional. You're not a perfectionist. You're a rightist. I just do it till it's right. Whatever comes out, comes out, all right? But you're thinking about that topic, all right? And you just want to get the draft done. I'm working on an article right now, and same thing. If I keep reading and rereading and reading, I'm just going to keep finding flaws. But I start literally like a paragraph back, and then I move forward, right? Then I finish it, and then I'll go back, and then I'll re-edit it, and then I'll refine it, and then retweak it. Then I'll put it out there, and then I'll be like, wow, I still got to fix it. Or maybe not. I'm just going to leave it out there, and then get feedback from people and make it better. That's what we do in life, right? Most people, and one of my mentors, Eben Pagan, he speaks about version 1.0, right? When you have the knowledge, skills, and capabilities and abilities that you're learning, and then you apply them to the world, you're going to put out a quick version of what it is, because you only got to know that much more than other people in whatever it is, and put it out there and then get feedback. Put it out there and get feedback. Then build it better. Put it out there, get feedback. And over time, you accumulate value, feedback. Your customers, your ideal clients are giving you feedback on how to make this thing better. I do that with my coaching business. I was like, I need feedback. I have my assistant send out Google Forms with questions so I could get feedback. because I want to grow. I want to develop. I want to turn this thing into its own entity, its own existence, its own force, its own power. Right? A force moving forward through things. It's a force. So, guys, I got about 5 minutes left. And thank you, few people that are watching. I think that's awesome. I really hope you're getting some golden nuggets from this. Because I feel like in the future, all of this is going to take off. I have no doubt about it. But the thing is, it's like right now we're in concurrent time. What value can you gain from what I'm speaking about right now? Man, right? You just want to get up and go. You want to get up and just live. You want to get up and just thrive. You want to get up and you've arrived. You want to get up and just go, right? You've already arrived. You already know everything you need to know. Now go out and know more and then apply it right away. Life is about the speed of implementation. So I've learned, and I notice it works, right? I get feedback when I implement something, even if it's imperfect, right? Think about that for you, right? Think about that for you. Take a big breath, Ray. Take a big breath. We all need to breathe. We all need to breathe. Be calm. Have confidence. Have an intense trust. And I hope if anyone's watching this afterwards, answer that question. Answer that question. What do you? What do I? What would it be? Huh? What would it be? What would you like it to be? Like? Your body. What kind of emotions serve you? What kind of mindset would you like to have in your mind? Environment. Where would you like to place yourself so you can be a little more influenced? Be a little, right? If you're in a bad environment, it doesn't help you, right? Just think about that. What kind of relationships would you like to have with other people around you? Right? I'm actually doing another webinar called Trust, learning the 4 domains of trust. Because I believe trust is a soft skill that's very underrated, especially now in a time that we can learn about it and then apply and build trust and build a network of people around us, right? And as in the words, I think Jordan Harbinger says, is dig the well before you're thirsty. Right? I'm thirsty right now too. I've been for an hour now, I'm kind of thirsty. But how can we network? How can we create a community? Different communities that we like, right? And get to know different communities. Get ideas, and implement these ideas that we have. Not that you get millions. I get millions. I don't want to say millions. Daily basis, I probably get like 50 to 100 ideas. Say 50. I'm getting older there, kind of weaning out. But sometimes I got to write them down, put them aside. But I'm on focus for what I'm doing. I'm on focus on service, coaching, on helping people. I think it's a skill that everybody should have. And eventually, I want to put together a course called Coach Yourself to Greatness, because you got to ask yourself questions like that, right? You look at that chat, you got to ask that question. It helps you, serves you. 2 people that are watching. I'm going to be quiet right now. Love for you guys to type in the chat something. Was this helpful? Was this in service to you? What did you learn today? What did you learn, and how can you apply it? Did you not learn anything? Maybe. Who knows? Hmm. Crazy time, huh? It's tick, 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 tick. Keeps going. Sprinkles earned, huh? Muscles were earned too. Do a little breathing now. I have this breathing exercise I'll share with you for a few minutes. Maybe we'll do that. I always say thread through the head, nice and tall, chin tucked. Close my eyes. I'm going to do 8 to 10 seconds in. Hold for 2. And your exhale is longer than your inhale. Try it. Make sure you're breathing into your abdomen. Through your nose. It's your diaphragm, to be specific. Whew. 3 breaths to give you confidence. Breathing, very important. So I got a minute left. Actually, overtime here, but here I'm not. It's interesting. It's going to go till this runs out. 1 minute, 1 minute and counting. Spoke for a long time. Woo! I wonder if I could give myself a thumbs up. 30 seconds and counting. Ask that question. What do I want? That I could invest, spend, but invest time, energy, focus, money. Also, who are you surrounding yourself with? People that serve you or people that don't? Stop hanging out with them. So they're going to keep you where you are. Want to rise up? Got to surround yourself with better people. Got to say no to things so you can say yes to your life. Okay, take care. Have a great day.